shoot, we had the world and Olympic champion Noah Lyles on nightcap. Did you see it?
I did. Shouts out to Nightcap, first of all. Even though the Olympics are done, Uncle Shannon has came back and brought on not only Noah, he brought on Quincy Hall, he's brought on Ryan Benjamin, he brought on the mixed relay. He kept the flow of track and field and Gabby. He brought the flow of track and field. Even though the Olympics is done, he made sure their story was told from their mouth. Yeah. You know what I mean? I love that, man. Shouts out to Nightcap on that one, man. Shouts out to Unc. Shouts out to Ocho. Y'all doing real big things, man. Thank you for the love and the support for track and field. But back to what you were saying about Noah, man. He was on there, man. I watched it. I watched the snippets of it too. What'd you think?
I think he had a lot of good, valid points, man. Speaking about our sport, where it's so hard to watch, you know what I mean? And are we ready? Is the track and field world ready for the notoriety to be joined with track and field? I love a lot of his takes, man. I definitely think Noah is someone who's misunderstood. Sometimes he's not, but times like this, I think he's misunderstood. Like I want people to go and watch that interview. I mean, he had a lot of really good takes. Whether you like him or not, try to remove that and try to see what he's trying to do or how he's trying to expand the sport so everybody can watch it, so we can be inclusive with the basketballs of the world, of the soccers of the world, you know what I mean? Because we are a global sport, just like those sports, you know what I mean? And we feel like we have just as good athletes as everybody else. You know, we don't only run every 4 years. We run every year. There's something in track and field every year, but it's hard for a lot of fans to find where to watch it, especially in this day and age where attention spans are really low.
Absolutely. I personally just think that track and field needs to be streamed. It needs to go to a streaming service that is going to be a strong provider. I understand what Noah was saying, like, even he was apprehensive about the Grand Slam because he's like, where's the TV deal at? Where's the TV deal at? We need to be on TV. TV is good, but be careful what you ask for. You don't want to be on TV and your races are at 11:30 at night or 6 in the morning. You know what I mean? Time slots are critical. And when you watching, it could be ESPN. You think you about to get ESPN, but you about to be on ESPN 3. You feel me? Like, there's certain time slots that are going to benefit our sport, and then there's going to be certain time slots on television that's going to hinder our sport. You might as well not even be on TV, period. Who's going to be up at 6 a.m. watching that? Who's going to be watching track and field while they're at work? You know? You want to get prime time television. You want to try to work to get those slots. I think with streaming, if they find a good streaming service, that's available for everyone, you know? And then certain streaming services allow you to kind of like also give your input on what's going on. Like, can you imagine like a whole group chat, everybody watching the same track meet, and everybody just like the stats and people's comments coming down on the side over here, people talking in real time? Like, that is what track and field is about to me. Like, everyone has their predictions, their comments, and what's going on. Everybody wants to be some kind of commentator in a way on what's happening. And I think that's where track and field should go. It should become more exciting, more fast-paced, more streamlined.
I think you're 100% right. I think our sport is so time-changing because sometimes meets are at 1 o'clock, sometimes meets are at 7 o'clock. We can't have the TV deal because something like football, you know, they have primetime television. You know, football going to start at 7 o'clock. You know, 7, 8 o'clock prime time. You know what I mean? Basketball games, they start around that time too. You know what I mean? So being on the channel, if you can't get your time slot into that slot, it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? So a streaming service, definitely, because everybody have their phones. It's such an on-demand thing. If we had an app or some type of channel, or if we stream with YouTube and YouTube has a channel to where all track meets are slotted into that and we can watch, then it'll definitely be a thing that we definitely can service. But I'm definitely with you with it should be streaming because the overseas meets. Think about that. Those meets go on at 11 o'clock at night. Yeah, I mean, people wait until Instagram reels hit to see what the people did the next day. You know what I mean? They're not going to stay up to watch a track meet at 3 o'clock in the morning that's in Rieti, Italy. That's not going to happen. So streaming, I definitely think, is the best bet for our services.
I agree 100%. Now it's about putting it together. I think the athletes are ready. A question was posed, is track at its peak of popularity? And I say yes, because in past situations, you had figures who were just polarizing. You had the Marions, who we only cared about Marion. We had the Allisons, we only cared about the Allisons. We had the Usains, we only cared about the Usain. You know what I mean? Like now you have so many characters that are in track and field, so many personas that's in track and field. It's a little bit for everybody. It's almost like a soap opera now. Like you can tune in, and if you in tune with track and field, like, man, I'm about to watch Noah. He about to act a fool. Or, man, here come Fred Curley, man. You see him pacing back and forth. He about to turn up. You can understand the characters of the sport, and you can watch how it kind of lays out during the season now. I think that's a real cool thing, and I think that's when you know a sport is ready. And I said it before, allow these people to show their character, to show their personas, because that's how you're going to really have people engaged. The average fan doesn't know a fast 200 meters for a female or a slow 200 meters for a female. You know what I mean? Like, they're there to watch. They want to see if you're going to win or you're going to lose. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you get people who are going to be connected to you because I follow your page. I love where you're from. I'm from the same city, or I love what you're about. I love the fact of watching, you're an advocate of such and such. Like, look at Gabby. Look at all the things that Gabby's doing. Harvard, missionary stuff. Now she's doing her own women's track league. You can't tell me that doesn't garner some kind of like fanfare for just that, right? And those fans probably don't know the ins and outs on the nuances of what track and field really is, especially in her event. They're cheering for her because they just want to cheer for Gabby. You know what I mean? So we got to figure out how to be able to take that kind of audience and kind of say, hey, welcome to track and field. Like, let's teach you a little bit about track and field, and you can root for Gabby, but there's so many more athletes you can learn about too.
I think on this one, we caught lightning in the bottle, track and field, right? When you think about the last Olympics, in Tokyo, it was still COVID. You know what I mean? So coming back into this, you saw when we was in Paris, everybody was out there. You know what I mean? Our thing is how do we keep it going? Without the Olympics, next year is still another season. How are we going to keep up with this snowfall effect of keeping the popularity up without the Olympics? Because the Olympics was the buildup, right? Everybody was looking at, what's going to happen? And, at the Olympics, but fans need to understand that we run every year. And there's a World Championships next year. And then a year after that, there's another World Championships. And then the Olympics come back in 2028. So I just think we just caught lightning in the bottle, and we need to figure out how to keep it going and to keep that snowball to get bigger, bigger, and bigger.
Oh, yeah. It was a gift and the curse of COVID. When COVID offset everything in track and field, it made championships back to back to back to back. So it's going to give you that feeling of like you watching the NBA or the NFL, where they have their finals or the Super Bowl every year. Now you get to see your favorite sprinters, jumpers, athletes, throwers, hurdlers compete for a championship year in, year out for these next couple of years. So that's what we need to take advantage of. You're 100% right, man. 100% right.